Whoa, Carmen, I've had too much tequila, drunk on yesterday's wine. I'm gonna fall. No, 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 no. Good morning. Good morning. I've been in there trying to get psyched up for my live this morning. Always look forward to my Tuesday morning live because it's a time I get to spend with y'all. And it just makes my day go so much better. I hope everybody's doing well today and everybody's just living the high life, the good life. I was in there listening. Y'all ever heard of Gene Watson? I think Gene Watson is a Texas boy. Some of you Texas folks, I gotta get comfortable. Some of you Texas folks might know of Gene Watson. He's an old-time country singer. And he had a song out many moons ago. I remember in high school, one of my buddies in high school, we played music together. And he always played this song, and he could do it great. I mean, it was beautiful the way he done it, called Carmen. If you have never heard Carmen, 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 by Gene Watson, get over there and check it out because it's a fantastic song. I'm going to read you some of the lyrics because I need some help with the word. It says, "Oh, Carmen, I've had too much tequila. Between you and this Mexican moon, I'm going to fall. El Paso lady, you're driving me crazy. In a language I don't understand, you said it all." Okay, here's the part I don't know. It says, "Dusty old Juarez on the old Rio Grande." I know what the Rio Grande is, but what is Dusty old Juarez? Is that like tequila or is it, what is that? It's Juarez. I guess I could have looked it up. I could have Googled it, couldn't I? Anyway, it sure is handy if you need a friend. I don't belong here. Your dark eyes keep warning. I'll leave in the morning. For now, please let me in. Crossing over the border, stepping over the line, drunk on yesterday's wine and still feeling the flame. The guitars keep playing a song that I've never heard without saying a word. You keep calling out my name in a language I don't understand. You said it all. I'm telling you, it's a fantastic song. Juarez is the Mexican city. Hold on, this thing is Mexican city across from El Paso. Well, hey, that just makes the song make so much more sense now. I'm glad somebody filled me in on that. I got a sticker, y'all. I've had it a couple weeks, and I couldn't remember if I showed it to y'all last week or the week before, whenever I got it. I can't remember nothing anymore. But Creekside Maples sent me that, and they sent me a card too. I won't read the card, but it was a very, very kind card, and I just appreciate so much. Got a little. Hold on, let me get through here and check out the chat real quick, and then I'm going to tell y'all what we got going on. Danny Days Homestead. Good morning. Got Linda from 6 Acres Farm Rescue over there in Georgia, and got another Georgia girl, Andrea making watermelon salsa and about to make some watermelon barbecue. Made some watermelon jelly. Look at here. She's always late, so made a point. Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see old Andrea in here this morning. Sweet King's Garden, y'all. Lydia's got a surprise. If you hadn't seen her video, get over there and check it out. She has got a surprise. Plus, she's got a beautiful garden. It just makes me jealous every time I see it. But that's all right. I get over things very, very quickly. Got Gwen over here, Broke Cowgirl Homestead. She would know where the the Texas thing is. Let me get down here. Y'all just talking with each other, saying hello, hi, howdy. Got the Down Under Girl, 10:05 p.m. over there at Annie's Kitchen in Urban Homestead, Perth, Australia. Coffee's on. Poured me a cup. Well, I'm glad you got your coffee. I need some. I don't drink coffee though. Rebecca, Touched by Yarn. Hey, Rebecca, good to see you. Rebecca's starting to get out some content, had a live, and she's just doing everything. Homestead and Hustle. Hey there, Sarah. Sarah. It's good to see you, Sarah. Good morning. It's good to see you always. Oh, yeah. I mean, how do you not love Gene Watson? I worked with a guy over in Houston, Texas, and his wife, and he was an older man. He had been blown up. He had he had a screw in his cheek. He'd screw in every once in a while. But his wife was a bartender. Well, used to be a bartender back in the day, and said Gene Watson done a show where she was at, and she got some Gene Watson stuff. I won't tell you what it was, but anyway, she's proud of it. She displayed it proudly. Anyway, hey there, Raquel. Good to see you. Good to see you. Deisel. Give her Deisel. I'm going to spell it like that from now on. Juarez. Hey, there's Jesse. How you doing, Jesse? I should know Jesse would know it. Everybody knew what Juarez is except for me. And y'all look, Jesse has a video out. He just put out today. It's a mail call. So, and it's fantastic. It's not your normal, average, everyday mail call. Jesse spices it up. And of course, he's got Lisa there with him, so you can't go wrong. Everybody knew what Juarez. And apparently it's Dusty, because it says Dusty, oh, Juarez or Juarez. Anyway, it don't matter. Hey, Jeff, good to see you. Hope you're not tearing nothing up today. And if I remember right, Beth and Neil and Beth from Farmerville up there in North Louisiana. Let me get over here. Hey, Nick, good to see you. My friend from Arizona. I'm getting out because I got a surprise for y'all. And before I say the surprise, let me go ahead and mention Katie from Mayfield Ranch. She's out in California. She's got she's trying to get a collab going. I told her I would mention it in my live. And I can't remember what it is now, Katie. Something about the fall planning, fall garden planning. Write it in the chat if you would, and we will we'll push it up on the screen. But anyway, Katie, Mayfield Ranch, she can give you all the information you need, because I'm terrible at that kind of stuff. Hey, Autumn, it's good to see you. Appreciate you coming in this morning. I hope you're making Cody behave. Hey, tell Cody if he's not in there, he needs to get on, because he's gonna like my guest. He's gonna like my guest. It's a surprise, though. I can't tell you. Hey there, Tracy, up there in New York, not New York City, Upper New York. Y'all, I'm trying. I'm hurrying. Got Andale. Good morning. She comes on at right after us at 10 o'clock Central. So everybody get over there with her at 10 o'clock. Got Life with Mountain Folk. I know Fred. I cannot ever remember your wife's name, Fred. I'm so sorry. I do good remembering my wife's name. But I remember Fred because that's my dad's name, my brother's name, and my son's name. So I got the Fred, but I can't ever remember the other one. Your wife's name. It's a little private joke, I guess. I don't reckon it's private. Hey, Misha, good to see you. What you checking out? Oh yeah, Jesse. He's got his thing. Teresa, I apologize to you so much. I intended on getting to your life. I'm gonna get to you, Glenn. Don't go to sleep on me. Don't eat all my M&Ms. I'm getting to you. I'm getting close. Teresa, I meant to have you be on your live last night. I had something to do with the church. I had a little girl that's been having a lot of issues, and she had the brain surgery and all that, and we had to go spend some time with them last night. So, but Teresa always garden prepping. She's got a live on Monday evenings. Let me just run through here, okay? I'm probably going to miss your thing. Guess whose birthday it is today? Guess who's the birthday boy? Guess whose turn? I don't know. How old are you now, Glenn? This Glenn from Gather Together Homestead. Anyway, it's his birthday, so happy birthday. Happy birthday. Yeah, Katie is awesome. I'm getting down here, y'all. It just keeps skipping. I hate to leave anybody out because everybody's good. Connie, thank you, Misha. I feel like I'm always yelling. My kids always fuss at me. Daddy, you don't have to yell when you're on there. You don't have to yell when you're on the phone. I do too. I'm going to skip on down here. Let's see. Oh, there's every time I say I'm going to skip on down, I see something that catches my eye. It's an open invite to participate in the collab. Share what zone you're in and what you're planning for your fall garden, what, why, and when you plant. Okay. Y'all got that? Fred and Connie. That's right. Fall garden plan. August 19th release date at 6 a.m. Pacific. I am here. I was summoned. All right. Got some folks going to try to participate in your collab. Y'all hang on. I'm about to get them up. You don't want to miss out. Got everybody talking to everybody. Y'all seeing all that way before I am. Table of three. Hey there, Carrie. It's good to see you. Always like Carrie. I have a collab this Friday. People still want to jump in. Also, hey, we'll put it in the chat, Sarah, because I forget things. I'm sorry. I just do. I forget things, but I don't have a problem with anybody putting anything in the chat. I got moderators. If you put something in there bad, which nobody here would do that because everybody here's good folks. Y'all put your hands together. I hope you got a seat up close because I just threw Glenn right up on there. How are you?
I don't have any idea what we're talking about today.
That's all right. That's all right. I never know what I'm talking about.
Well, we all know that. You're from Mississippi. You guys are confused over there.
All right. Well, y'all seen Glenn. It's been a good day. We've enjoyed having him on as our guest today. And hey, Niecy, good to see you. No, Glenn, I'd asked Glenn to come on the live, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember now. Time, like I said, gets away from me. He said he had to kind of work around his schedule. I said, well, as soon as you can, you get in touch with me, and whenever you can work it out, get it out. And so just a little bit before we went live, I don't know, about an hour or so before we went live, he texted me and said that he could make it today. And I said, well, come on. I didn't have nothing planned today. I was just going to open it up to everybody, let everybody come in. And I said, no, we want Glenn. Now, Glenn's channel is Raised Outdoors Arkansas. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
That's what it says on the screen anyway.
Right. Yeah, but I might have mistyped that. You never know.
Hey, we got a Cottonwood Ranch. She'll tell you if you spelled it wrong.
Right, yeah. We have a teacher in here. That's right.
There's Byron and also Jason. Good to see y'all in here. I know you've been doing a little fishing, apparently. I see the videos.
Yeah. So I don't know. A lot of people in here probably don't know me, but so just kind of a little background, maybe it'll help everyone out a little bit. So, I grew up in Arkansas, and, people ask me all the time why I don't go live fishing. Well, we have one cell tower made out of a bean can and a coat hanger. So, I mean, you don't have much service out here. But I grew up pretty poor. So in the way that we grew up, we pretty much lived off the land and gardens and, canned our own food, did things like that. So pretty much what you see on my channel is just what we do every day. We don't make special trips for videos and stuff. We just happen to turn the camera on while we're out there. And then I have to edit it, of course, and I'm not the best editor. But we do a lot of fishing, hunting. I do raise a garden. I can stuff, we cook a lot. But pretty much everything that we eat, well, I say everything, but probably 80% of the meat we eat is stuff that we either catch or, deer that we harvest, and squirrels. I'll eat anything once just to see what it tastes. But we have been doing a lot of fishing. We live in a state, and you live in Mississippi, so you kind of know how it is. There are a lot of poor folk, a lot of people that don't have a lot of money, and a lot of people don't have the resources to really catch a lot of fish or fill their freezers. So we spend a lot of time. We're pretty successful. God's blessed us to be pretty successful at what we do. Because it's a lifestyle. It's not a sport to us, and so we share a lot. We fill freezers with deer. If we're fortunate enough to kill hogs with, pork, and of course a lot of fish. I think, we have a series of videos. I think it was 5 videos that we put out. We caught 65 catfish in, what was it? 5 days, I think, but it was like one line run a day. And we sent, I want to say it was 250 pounds of fillets to Missouri, with a group of folks to share all the way up in Missouri, which ended up being at today's price, almost $2,000 worth of, or I think it was between $1,500 and $2,000 worth of fish fillets that we help people out with. And we don't do it to get a pat on the back, but it is something that my kids absolutely thought was the best thing ever, to know that they help people. And then of course, family and people around the local town and stuff, we do that. So that's the gist of what we do. We spend a lot of our time, helping other people with the stuff that we're able to get. So,
I want to just stop right there for just
Yep.
a minute. And I know you're not wanting pats on the back and
Nope.
accolades and all that. And that's
No.
not what it's all about. But you had some videos out of you, and it was your kids. Was it just your kids, or did you have somebody else with you?
Well, my cousin and his wife were with us, but other than that, it was my wife.
Okay.
My 3 kids. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you had, how many kids you had. I've seen them in different videos, and I still hadn't put it all together in my head. It takes me a while.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he had his kids out there. They were running lines. He had limb lines, I think.
Mhm.
And y'all are catching some good fish. I mean, some big fish.
Oh yeah.
I noticed you didn't keep, some of them you didn't keep was the old,
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it now, Glenn.
The
Bullhead.
We didn't keep a lot of the channel cats.
Channel cats.
Yeah.
Now, I won't say you had like a bullhead, or
No, we had a couple of hybrid blue channel cats that were pretty big. We put them back. And the reason we don't keep the channel cats in that particular river, especially during that time of the year, is because they get really fatty from all the food that they have. Well, channel cats store fat differently than blues or flatheads, but you're a fisherman, you catch a blue or a flathead, it has a layer of fat on the outside that you can trim off.
right?
Well, channel cats, the way they store their fat is their meat just turns yellow.
Yeah.
And it's almost impossible to clean that meat up enough to where you can eat it. So we had actually kept a couple that we didn't have video of everything we caught, but we kept a couple, but the meat was extremely yellow. It's basically doesn't taste good. So we were just releasing all the channel cats out of that river.
We don't, when we go on the Big Black River, just out of Vicksburg, in between Vicksburg and Jackson. And we don't ever keep the channels or we call them bullhead, or green catfish, or They're not a blue. They're not a channel. I don't know what they are. They just
Yeah,
kind
they're
of.
bullheads. They're bullheads. Some people call them pollywogs or mudcats, and they'll have a tail shaped like a flathead, but then they look a lot like a channel. Yeah, I don't keep those either.
The thing is, though, we call the mudcats that we catch are generally small,
Right.
but these are kind of big. I mean, these are like, and it may be what we're calling bullheads is what you're calling a hybrid, a mix, because it's not a blue and it's not a channel. It's not. I mean, it's a I don't know what you call it. It's a darker looking fish, but we always throw them back.
Now, depending on the time of year, so if you're fishing during the spring, during the spawn time, all catfish, just like a crappie, the males turn extremely dark. And that's just identification purpose, breeding things. And the males will have giant, fat, we call them cat heads on them, or hammerheads. And so a lot of times a male channel cat will look almost odd because his head will be real beefy. He'll be really dark, but that's just kind of like his crappie tuxedo is what we would call it.
And that may be what it is, Glenn. I don't know. I've never caught too big of the channel cats that we caught that we know for sure is channel cats. They never have been too big, like 2-3 pounds at the biggest.
Oh yeah, we catch 18, 20-pound channel cats sometimes.
18, 20 pound?
Oh yeah.
Oh goodness! I don't think I've ever caught one like that. We do that with blues and tabbies all the time, but the channel cats are always smaller for some reason. I don't know why.
Right. I've got several people that are on the homestead pages that I follow their channels, and I know some of them are probably on here. Danny Days, I know Jesse and them are on here and stuff.
Yeah.
And I want to apologize to people if they feel like I'm not watching their stuff. I have so many people that I follow and try to keep up with that sometimes I don't take time to comment on everything because I'm watching so much stuff. And there are times I'm going to miss some. Some people upload every day or every other day.
Right.
My schedule, I just can't possibly watch everything. But there's a lot of great content out there. When we started our channel, I actually had no intentions of starting a channel. We happened to be catching a ton of fish, and we had been killing a lot of big deer. And my kids talked me into filming some of it. And I am not a videographer. I'm not an editor. I'm not a camera guy. I'm just no country boy. I'm country like a turnip green. And so we just started doing it. And the channel actually started growing pretty quick this year. I think we're like at 830 something. And we started this year off like at 350 or 400. And so in the last 2 months, it just really grew. So, like I said, we had no intention. So at this point, since we're getting so many viewers and stuff, I'm kind of leaning toward, maybe getting, some stuff where we can make a little bit better content as far as videos and stuff. Because everything we do is on my phone. That's it. I video everything on my phone, period.
I was going to ask you how you done it.
Yeah.
But a phone does good. I mean, it really does.
Oh, yeah. My problem is that it's the zoom. Sometimes I'll be zoomed in, and sometimes it's not a very, very flattering angle for some of the people in the boat whenever I'm zoomed in. So I have to edit so much stuff out because of my camera skills. But we have fun with it. That's the main thing. We do it to have fun, and it gives us something there. The kids' friends at school really like it. They like to watch it. They said they said we've been watching old Glennard. They call me Glennard Skinnerd a lot, and they've been watching.
And now forever you'll be known as Glennard Skinner.
I've been called a lot worse in my life, I can promise you.
Yeah, I imagine so. I know that your kids, they get right in there. I guess you've been having them do it all their life.
Yep.
Yeah, they get right up in there. You got a boy and 2 girls, is that right?
Yeah, I've actually, a lot of people don't know this because I've actually got 6 kids. So I had 2 different marriages, 3 kids from each marriage. The older 3, they all live away and they pretty much stay over with their mom a lot. And I see them every once in a while.
Okay.
But the 3 that live with us, since they were little, That's what we've been doing, hunting and fishing and stuff. Now, the funny story is that the boy Connor, he's 16. He is way more nervous about handling the catfish sometimes than my youngest daughter.
Really?
So it's just this year before I finally got him to really lay his hands on any. And it was partially because, everyone was going to be watching these videos of his baby sister pulling these catfish up, and he was determined she wasn't going to outdo him. So I finally got him to where he realized that they weren't going to hurt him if he did it right. And you fish enough to know it's not the big ones that are going to hurt you. It's those little ones. Those ones, man, their pectoral fins are extremely sharp like a needle. And the smaller they are, the sharper they are. And as a matter of fact, when they're real little, they actually have a barb on the back side of them that hasn't wore off yet. As they get older, from all of the spawning and stuff, it rounds off those pectoral fins. So they really can't poke you. They're just strong fish. So it doesn't bother me to try to just jump on one if they're big. But the little ones, if they get to flopping too much, I'll just let them go, let them flop. So you'll see.
And it'll sting. I mean, if they get you, it's not just a jab. It's actually a kind of like a burning. I notice you grab the. I seen you grab. I want to say a blue, a pretty good sized blue. You grab it in the mouth.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you do that.
Well, and almost all the flatheads, I'll grab them by the mouth because they don't have any biting power. Now the blues, they're sometimes a little tricky because each one's different. So you reach your hand in the mouth of a blue, and some of them will have kind of rounded off teeth. It's not that sharp, but some of them, they can barely start closing their mouth, and it's like 1,000 needles going into your hand, and you just can't grab them by the mouth. And you have to be careful. They're such strong, powerful fish, and they'll bite so hard that if they tear your hand up, you can get bad infections from them. So you'll watch me on some of them where I'm not grabbing them in the mouth. I'm holding them around their back or something because they just have, it's like sticking your hand in shards of glass sometimes.
Well, when I seen you stick your hand in one of them blues, I was like, oh man, I know that's got to hurt because they can climb. I mean, it seemed like they got more strength, but and I'm like you on the tabbies, you can reach in there and grab them a big one. And the only thing is, they will, if they get to flopping and or whatever, especially something big and it's got a little power to them, they can rough your hand up pretty good.
Oh yeah, I've seen bad infections. I've seen people almost lose fingers over the infections that they can
really
get. So yeah, I try not to grab too many blues in the mouth, but when we're running those lines and I'm having to pick them up and stuff, sometimes it's just easier. And I've not ever been known to be that smart. So, so I need a glove. I should be wearing a glove when I'm doing it. But, and an interesting little tidbit, and a lot of people may not even know that you fish. I don't know. You probably got some new subscribers that have no idea that you fish, but that's actually how I found your channel. Was I was going through and one of your fishing videos popped up on my suggested videos, and I watched y'all down there on the Black River with your holding tank and all that stuff, and it was pretty interesting. I thought that concrete holding tank was the bee's knees. So I was like, man, I'm gonna have to subscribe to these guys. And then I found out, you're growing gardens and aggravating your wife more than anything. So
I disappointed you.
You've got some really entertaining videos. I love them. Yeah.
If I wish that I had more of that, because if I had more of that kind of content on there, that means that I would be going fishing more or hunting more. So,
well, if you could stay out of the corner with Blenda, you could probably go fishing more.
I might could. Hey, you like that live well that we built, huh? That concrete live well?
I was trying to figure that thing out. I didn't know. It looked like maybe cinder blocks or something.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
It's cinder blocks. We just, cement it or, build it up. But we got an old jacuzzi motor.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we hooked up on the outside, and it sucks. And of course, we got a pipe that goes through with little holes in it that blows into the water to aerate it.
Right.
And which you got to clean it out. We got a little on the end of it. We got a cap that you can take off and just blow it out because you get fish from the river, they're going to be throwing up little pieces of whatever and clog it up.
Right. And I probably should do some content I've tried to figure out how to work it in. Let me see. I'm gonna read this comment first. Do I have a good breading recipe for a fish fry? We use all different styles. I like to try everything, and a lot of it has to do with taste. So my favorite way to eat fish is just old school. I like I like cornmeal, and it can be just regular yellow cornmeal. It can be a cornmeal mix with salt. And fish is always better. Fried fish is always better with plenty of salt on it. So, I mean, if you've got heart problems, you probably don't eat my fish sometimes, but that's the best. And then they make all kinds of packaged with seasonings and stuff in them. Sometimes I'll do just a little bit of Tony's in there just to put a little bit of spice in it. But I try to keep my fish simple. Now, I'll tell you the way that my son and wife like it best is don't even mess with cornmeal. Take and pat the fillets off real good, get them kind of sticky, and then put them in some Frank's Red Hot sauce.
Mm-hmm.
And then they take and roll them in flour and shake the excess off and fry them. And then when you pull them out, dust them with some Tony's. And it's Frank's Red Hot sauce. And it tastes like chicken nuggets. It doesn't taste like and Cody just put this up there. He used brown spicy mustard, and I told him that I was gonna try that sometime because I seen him doing that, and I thought I have never heard such a thing. But we use all kinds of stuff. So.
We use mustard. I mean, my mom always growing up, she would do the fish in mustard and then season it, and she'd put cornmeal. We always use cornmeal.
Wow. You're using, especially like crappie fillets, are such a delicate fish. Now we do mustard, or we'll do even sour cream. And it sounds odd, but you can take those crappie fillets and you can toss them in sour cream and stuff. And again, use flour. That flour will crisp up really good. Crawfish boil works good too, but crappie fillets, we like to keep those pretty simple because it's such a delicate meat. So, but anything you can use for a batter, mustard or sour cream work really, really good on crappie fillets. And then if you use the flour instead of the cornmeal, and then dust it with whatever seasoning you like afterward, it is absolutely delicious. But there's something about when you do the mustard and the, sour cream or something with cornmeal, it pretty much still just tastes like regular fried fish, and you really don't need that. Just have damp fillets when you use cornmeal and it'll bread up really good. So.
We at the camp, we always use like a Louisiana hot sauce and mustard. We put Louisiana hot sauce, mustard, and then also that Tony's, chasserie, however you say it.
Tony's is good for just about everything.
But when you're on the river, I think you could slap it on a piece of leather and it tastes good because it's
that's right.
Because you're always hungry. It's just a different atmosphere than when you're at the house.
Right.
I seen you talking about the crawfish bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I got a friend of mine. Look here, talking about that. A friend of mine lives up in Ruston, Louisiana.
Hey, I go to Ruston a lot.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I think he's going to start commercial fishing. He's had some health issues. He's a nurse. He was a manager over a laminating place up there somewhere. And anyway, he done got where he's my age. He's 54, 55 years old. Well, I guess he's 54. And he had a heart attack a couple of years ago. And he got to looking at it, and he always loved the outdoors and all that. So he's going to start commercial fishing some, and as far as for some of the local restaurants. And but he was telling me they get them stripers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And something else he was. I know he used to boat. He don't boat fish anymore because of his heart attack, but he was saying what he does, they boil it down in that crawfish bowl. and then strain the meat out, and it's like crab,
Mhm.
uh,
Yeah,
like crab meat.
poor
He
man's
said,
crab.
"Yeah, I've never thought about that."
Yeah, I'll tell you one of the best fish you can do that with, which it's you're better if you can use it fresh. Is freshwater drum works really good for that because it's a really dense meat, and so when you poach it, it doesn't break down. If you'll fillet it, get the red meat out, stuff like that, cube it up into about 1 inch chunks, get that crab boil going. Like if you were going to do something else and then poach that in it, it'll soak that up, and it is just like eating lobster almost.
That's what he was telling me. He said it's really good. Hey, Lashes, I didn't see you come in. I'm so sorry, but I do appreciate you coming in.
And I'll tell you, you're talking about crawfish boil, and I'd like to know the name of his crawfish boil. I like to try it, but you're talking about crawfish boil. My wife, of course, being from South Mississippi, she thinks crawfish boil goes in everything, but she she'll boil with just a little bit of crawfish boil. She'll boil her potatoes for our potato salad. And so when we have our potato salad, it's got that little bit of seasoning. I mean, you don't want to use too much, but you want to talk about taking potato salad to a whole new level. That is what you need to do. So, yeah, I agree. Poor man's lobster is absolutely delicious. And if you're poor, it's really good.
That's
You're
right.
real lobster. So,
Uh, that's right. Your wife is she's from down here, huh? In my
yeah,
area. That's
she
right.
graduated high school in Picayune, Mississippi.
Okay.
And her mother lives in Hattiesburg. And then she's got a sister that lives there in Purvis, where you live. Yeah.
Uh, my son lives. Well, he don't live quite in Picayune. He lives in Poplarville,
Okay.
which is between us and Picayune.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, my dad was raised. My dad and my mother were raised out of Picayune at Caesar, Mississippi.
Okay.
Your mom will probably know where that is, and Lee
Mm-hmm.
Town, uh, Lee
Yeah.
Town, and Caesar. Yeah.
I've learned there's some I thought Arkansas had some really strange names to towns, but trying to pronounce the names in Mississippi are really difficult sometimes.
Yeah. Well, you just get used to it, I guess, or you just don't go there, so you don't have to pronounce it.
Doblerville was one of the hardest ones for me to read and say the way that everyone said I needed to say it.
Poplarville.
No, Diablerville.
Oh, D'Iberville. Okay, yeah, D'Iberville. That's down by the coast.
Right.
Um, but now your wife was from here,
Mm-hmm.
this area, and you were from Arkansas.
Yep.
How in the world y'all?
Her dad actually bought a farm that's just right down the road from me. And so
Okay,
I met her through her dad because her dad and I were neighbors. So,
I got you.
yeah.
I got you. Okay.
So I was friends with her dad before I was friends with her.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Had more, but
If you can get in good with the dad, you got it made.
yeah.
Yeah. I done that with my wife. I got in good with her dad, and then he loved me at first, and then he hated me.
Yeah, that's kind of the way it works, it seems like.
I was from Louisiana, and my wife was from Mississippi,
Okay. Yeah.
and we met in Tennessee. Do you ever cook frog legs?
I certainly do. I actually have one frog fishing video up where we catch them with rod and reel. I don't get to do a lot of stuff. Unfortunately, I mean, it may surprise everyone. I have to be an adult sometimes. So, I have to work a lot. And then our kids are very active in sports. We have very athletic kids. And so it keeps us hopping. So I don't get to go do my stuff. I mean, I'm one of those guys that's kind of like, man, am I old enough to retire yet? Like, I would really like to fish. We do cook frog legs. And I'll tell you one thing. That's right, frishing, Cody. We go frish. What a lot of people don't know about frogs is they just cut the back legs off. But if you learn to clean them, like skin the frog whole, the back meat on those big ones is absolutely the best meat on that entire frog. So you got to eat the backs. The backs is where it's at.
It seemed like the back meat is probably the best on most everything, isn't it?
I think so. And I don't know why people don't eat the backs. I think it's just because it doesn't look like there's much there, but there's more on those backs than what you think there is. They're really delicious.
Yeah, that's what they say, Jeff. When you retire, you
Right.
then you start work.
Yeah.
I know which I hadn't. The only time I eat squirrel nowadays is when we go to the camp,
Mhm.
and we generally can kill a few wood ducks up there, and they got a little slough that cuts through the property, and we can generally get a few wood ducks. So we put the wood ducks and the squirrels in a gumbo, and we'll cook it up like that. Hey, Wesley.
Yeah.
Uh,
I've got several friends that own squirrel dogs and stuff, and they've contacted me want me to go squirrel hunt and said, man, you make a good video for your channel, come hang out. And then I've got probably 4 or 5 people wanting to do fishing collabs or hunting collabs and stuff. And my problem is just scheduling. I just really have a hard time scheduling. And then I have a family that is active outdoors too. So my wife likes to fish and my kids like to fish. So, if they want to go, it's hard for me to look at them and say, no, I'm sorry. If they want to go, they go. That's just the way, I don't, I live, the way I grew up, family first, well, God first, family, and then your friends. But we try to treat everyone like family. But when it comes down to it, family's family. So.
and when you like if you got like a squirrel dog or something, it's good. Especially your kids are older now. They can pretty much do a lot of their own, but especially when they're younger. If you have like a squirrel dog or something like that they can actually make noise, go through the woods, and
Right.
It's very enjoyable. I used to take my son, my oldest son, which my youngest son never was into all that. Hey, thank you, Katie. Y'all give her an email or message her if you want to participate in the hashtag Fall Garden Plan collab. And I'll try and mention it again Friday, Katie, if I don't forget. But I would always take him, my oldest son, and I had rabbit dogs when he was younger too.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to be super quiet. You don't have to be, you can get out and do. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and that's why duck hunting is so popular. It's the most expensive sport that you can get
Oh yeah.
into, but people love it because they can sit in a duck blind and talk and yap, and then they can, shoot a few ducks. And I've got 2 or 3 cousins that own duck lodges in eastern Arkansas in the Delta.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy how many people don't even eat duck, but pay thousands of dollars to go shoot them. And so every year they've got freezers full, full of duck that they just give away.
We'll see you, Evan.
But yeah, you were talking about the kids, and that's one thing about those limb lines that is really good because my youngest daughter, she's not much to sit and wait on anything to bite. If they're not biting right away, she's pretty much done fishing. So we hang those lines. She'll be the first one up there because there's a fish. She can see it moving. There's a fish. She wants to get it. So that's the best way for us to take the kids catfishing because catfish can be extremely slow sometimes. Now,
Oh yeah.
Weekend before last, my cousin and I got on a catfish bite that you better not turn your head because they're biting so fast. So,
is that the video you put up?
yes, yeah,
Okay. Yeah, y'all was catching quite a few of them.
Oh yeah, we edited a lot out. I don't know how many we missed, and we got broke off by some giant fish that we just couldn't get out of the log jams and stuff like that. If you're fishing this time of year where it's which I don't know how many people in here actually fish, and like I said, I don't just fish, but that's just what's going on right now. But if you're fishing this time of year, a lot of times the lakes and stuff are really hot, and fish have to regulate their body temperatures, and so they go to areas that are deep. Sometimes they're lethargic and stuff like that, and so on a closed body of water, they're sometimes difficult to catch. So if you find a river that's got enough water that's moving, typically that water is going to be a lot cooler and it's going to have a lot higher level of oxygen in it. And so your chances of catching fish more than triple on moving water.
Right.
And then if you've got structure, in any kind of deep water close to that structure, you've got perfect habitat for flathead catfish if you live in a state that has them. And so that's what we were doing, was trying to target, flathead catfish. My main goal was to put some in my freezer because I gave all my catfish away. But, you know, it's just one of those things where this time of year right now, if I didn't have to work, I would be on the river every day, trying to catch those catfish, because right now here we have the perfect scenario where the rivers are inside their banks, they're flowing hard, they've got lots of oxygen, they're cool, stuff like that. And so you can really target fish. And, a lot of people, homesteading and stuff, and a lot of people aren't much into hunting. They don't want to go shoot an animal.
Right.
The big deer eyes and stuff, it hurts, hurts their feelings, or they just don't like doing it. But most people eat fish. And so to me, if you homestead and stuff like that, having some way to acquire, protein, to where you're not spending so much money, because that's the purpose of the stuff that we do. I'm basically a homesteader. My channel is just, outdoors, because, that's where our protein comes from. But we garden, we have chickens, we eat our own eggs. We've got a little piece of land here. And if, I grow and make almost everything that we use. I don't buy fancy stuff and everything. We make most things. So anyway, yeah, it's something that I think that's why there's such a good cross between outdoors people sometimes, I think, and homesteaders, is that we share a lot in common. And even though, I don't have quote unquote a homestead channel, and like Cody, where he's a taxidermist and he does that stuff, we all still have a lot of the same mindset about how we approach life and stuff. So, which I know some people don't eat meat at all, but.
Well, and that's fine. If people don't want to, that's them.
Yeah.
But hold on. So I was trying to catch up with some of the chat.
No.
I get distracted very easy, and I don't like to. Don't look at me with those big old. I'll just try to pet them on a kick. I don't get out and hunt and fish and all that like I used to. I say it's. I guess I'm just lazy. I don't know. But really, when my oldest son got married and moved out, that kind of ended a lot of. I mean, it didn't end it. I still go. I still, every now and then, but I don't go like I used to keep a. I used to keep a fishing rod in my truck everywhere I went, and if I'd stop off the side of the road and fish a little creek or whatever, or a little pond, but I don't do that anymore. But ever since he got married, he was my motivator. I don't know if that makes sense. He motivated me.
Well, as you get older and, kids move out and stuff, things do change a little bit. And yeah, I agree with fish is really good. You can cook it so many different ways. But even like me, I mean, I'm, a couple of months away from being 49. And so, I can't do what I could when I was 20, no matter how I try. I was, a lot healthier, a lot, stronger, a lot more agile when I was in my 20s than I am, of course, pushing 50. But I still like to do it. I mean, for me, it has been so much my lifestyle. I wouldn't know what to do without it. I mean, I think I was in third or fourth grade the first time that, I went deer hunting with my dad, and probably fifth or sixth grade, when I killed my first deer. And it was such a big deal for us being poor. We had to have that meat to put on our table, and I didn't have to have a hunting license, and that was the best thing. I was young. So for a lot of years there, my dad depended on me to go, kill deer. I hunted every day after school. I hunted on the weekends, and, I learned, how the deer moved, and was able to start filling the freezers and stuff. And there are years between me and my son, and he's got a buddy that hunts with us, and then my daughter, every once in a while, we may kill and process 15 deer to give away, fill freezers, stuff like that. but we don't waste anything. And I get people that get upset. I've had people on my channel that are upset that I kept a fish and didn't release it,
Yeah.
or that, we killed deer, and they'll leave comments and stuff. Doesn't really bother me too bad because, we don't view it as a sport, and it's not something that, we do just haphazardly. It's a lifestyle, and we depend on it to feed ourselves and other people. So with that, and then the stuff we get out of the gardens, we make jellies, we put up, tomatoes for homemade chili and stuff. So when we get ready to make chili, I've got the meat, I've got the tomatoes. I didn't have to buy any of that stuff.
Right.
Just a little bit of spices, and we're ready to go. So it's just a lifestyle. That's just what it is. If people always tell me if they could see how this actually took place in real life, they would never believe it because we're editing so much stuff out. People said they would be absolutely shocked what you guys do. But you can't get that stuff on video sometimes. I don't know how you would even get it on video. But
Well, I don't know what I don't understand. I don't understand why people watch something and fuss about it. You doing it, if they don't like to see you eat deer meat, why are they even watching it? Isn't there like a billion other channels they could watch?
well, I find that in all genres, though, it seems like we live in a society where people complain a lot more. When I grew up, it was pretty much, no one had a ton of money when I was growing up. I mean, you had a few people, but, everyone, you just had your neighbors. You had, so many people that were grateful for everything that they got. It didn't matter. We shared and everything. There's just not as much gratefulness now. We're a spoiled country. And I had people say, well, you should just buy your meat in the store. And I'm thinking, well, apparently you've never been in the country to where you're around these chicken houses and these cattle lots and stuff like that to see how those animals live compared to the animals that I give fair chase to in order to put meat on my table. So it's just a difference in mentalities. I think it's just a difference in how you grew up and what you're told. We're all a product of what we've been taught, life experience and what we've been taught. So if we've been taught incorrectly or we've been taught in a selfish manner, that's just who we are and what we know.
Well, and it seemed like it's getting more and more of that. But I don't have time for it.
Yeah.
I just don't have time for it. If I don't like something, I just move on. Or somebody wants to complain and fuss, I just move on. I have done past the halfway mark of my life.
Yeah.
I'm on the downhill side unless God lets me live to 110, which I don't see that happening. But so I don't have time for nonsense. I'm going to enjoy my life and enjoy my family, enjoy what I do, and let the complainers. Hold on, let's see. 30 million other YouTuber channels out there.
Yeah. And it's funny because you hear of people of all channel sizes and everything else. I think that one, back up to that one there, what was it? The one before that, it says, growing up, if we didn't fish, hunt it or grow it, we didn't eat it. That's right. And I think that's the way a lot, probably my age and older were. It seems to be the generation under me where somehow, we decided that we needed to pamper them and having a little bit of difficulty in life was a bad thing. I actually think having a little bit of difficulty in life builds a lot of character and appreciation. So,
well, I think it does. I think it helped. Well, especially the appreciation. You appreciate.
Why can't you just go to the grocery store and buy what you need, where the regular people get their food, where no animals have to die? That's right. It's crazy how people think. Yeah.
Hey, and these people vote.
Yeah. Yes, they do.
Not only vote, but they get elected.
Yeah.
that's the problem, that when they get elected. Anyway, look, we got just a couple more minutes. Ann Dale goes on at 10 o'clock, and then after her at 11 is Danny Day's Homestead, And then a special treat for everybody today at 12 o'clock. I am going to be the guest of Chatterbox Girls.
A special treat. Yeah.
Yeah. Chatterbox Gals. I'm sorry. Chatterbox Gals. Yeah. Anyway, Sherry Southern Roots, and Shannon, Journey Along with Shannon. So I like them two girls. They're good folks and good people. And they asked me to be on there. So I'm going to be on theirs at 12 o'clock. I think it's on Sherry's Southern Roots channel. They alternate, but I think it's on her channel. Is one I'm supposed to. You got anything coming up, Glenn? I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on and being with us today.
Well, you're welcome. I know they're not your typical guest, and I don't know.
I don't have a typical guest.
There may be a lot of people sleeping right now. We're actually going to be on the Florida coast for a week or so. I'm going to try to do a little fishing while I'm down there, but like I said, it's just whatever we decide to do. We thought about maybe taking a charter. Now, when I get back and I can find time, I am going back to that river, and my goal is to pull out those big catfish that we were missing. We're going to attempt to get them out. So we're going to go with a little heavier gear and see if we can't pull some of those. So that ought to be interesting. We can pull them out. It will be an absolute, it will be a fun time, because I don't even know how much of the videoing I can get done. But if I can video it while we're fighting those big catfish, it is a completely different monster whenever they get on.
You going to try and catch them with a pole?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Pole fishing.
Pole fishing.
Yeah, the limb lining for me is over past the spring. We do that to fill freezers and to get the kids involved. And I usually do it one time a year, and that's in the spring. And then other than that, we pole fish.
Yeah. Do you ever put out jugs?
I do. Yeah, my wife and I actually caught a snake on one this year. And then sing. Yeah. Well, I would sing for you, but that would definitely end the live immediately. Now, we do have an alligator hunt coming up in September. Okay. We're going to go alligator hunting, and we've got exclusive rights to an entire farm for the alligator. So we're going to attempt we'll see how it happens. There's supposed to be about a 10 or 11 footer that's floating in there, and that's the one I'm after. My son says, yeah, well, Jumbotron, I'm glad to see you. This is one of my buddies here. I don't know if you know him or not, Chuck.
I don't. First time
he's in Colorado. Now, I don't know if you know anything about fishing in Colorado. I've never been there, but I've got an Army buddy that lives in Colorado, and he says he'll catch a little fish sometimes, and he says he is so pumped because they're so hard to catch. And this guy catches a lot of trout there in that crystal clear water with the most amazing scenery.
Right.
But I'm going to try to do some saltwater fishing. The alligator, that's probably the biggest thing I'm looking forward to right now, besides getting back on those flatheads. So, but that's all we've got going. Nothing spectacular besides work. And I guess I could do a live at work, and y'all could watch me finish sheetrock, but it might not be too exciting.
Yeah, we didn't get into any of that. We about lost our time, but I do appreciate you coming on and being our guest today. Any way that I can help you out, be glad to do so. Y'all get over and watch Glenn, Raised Outdoors, Arkansas. And look, I know he's on here, and I don't want to, I'm not trying to embarrass you, Glenn, in any way, or butter you up, but Glenn is good people. He's, with his family and the things that he's doing for people. And I appreciate that. I appreciate knowing, I'm glad that I get to know people that aren't all about themselves. The people we talk about that always have their opinions on Facebook. I'm glad that I know that there's other people out in this world that, have a compassionate heart and just are just good down home people, just everyday folks. And Glenn is like that. Glenn seems to seems
Well,
to portray that in his life.
and I'm glad to know Chuck. And y'all don't forget to watch Life with Blenda and Chuck also.
You just want to, if you just want an old goofball to waste 5 minutes of your life, every video I put out, you just come on over to Life with Blenda and Chuck. We'll waste it good.
Well, I'm out of here and head to work. I appreciate you having me on, and I'll be talking to you. I got your number.
Good deal. Good deal. All right. We'll talk to you later, man. All those in chat, head on over to Ann Dale and check her out. Tell her that you came from us, and I'd appreciate that very, very much. Appreciate y'all so much, and y'all don't know how good it does me to see y'all come and visit on these Tuesday mornings. We're gonna go. We'll talk to y'all later.